Hello and welcome to this IoT partner webinar. My name is Jon Petter Andersen and I am the IoT partner manager in the Nordics for IoT ecosystem and IoT Cloud. Today we're gonna talk about how to start and scale your IoT solution with our IoT Cloud, but also our IoT connectivity. And with us we have a couple of partners that's been working for us for a while now, but we are happy to announce that we already have done a lot of success in the local, but also in the Nordic markets. So when we look at the agenda for today, we will have a short update on our Telenor IoT ecosystem and where we are in the value chain. Before we will introduce TietoEvry, they're going to explain a little bit about why they are working with Telenor, but also where they are in the value chain and how it makes sense that we collaborate together. And then we will introduce InstrumentTeam. We're so happy that they also could join this webinar to explain their experience working in the water metering market, especially in Norway, but how they are starting and also scaling their solutions based on our connectivity, but also our Telenor IoT Cloud solution. Welcome again. As you all know, we are the leading IoT telco in the Nordics due to where we are in the value chain, right? We are focusing on actually becoming a more horizontal provider than it has been messaged before. We are focusing on managed IoT connectivity, but also our new IoT cloud services that we have built on AWS. So based on this, you can see that we are working pretty tight with expert partners through the whole value chain when it comes to application and system integrators and how we are building a unique IoT cloud-ready hardware ecosystem. That, for instance, InstrumentTeam is a part of, and TietoEvry is an example of a system integration and application part for us. The reason we do this is due to the demand of our customers, but also based on everything that's needed in the end-to-end solution. We are focusing on becoming best of what we do, and that's connectivity and value-added services, but it's really important for us to add expertise partners that can help our customers in the whole value chain, but also take responsibility for the whole value chain. And it's a lot of different solutions out there today, but our main goal is to work with our partners in order to deliver successful IoT projects to our customers. And that means simple IoT solutions, but also some kind of different one when it comes to 5G and LTM, and of course, Narrowband IoT also. We have mapped up when it comes to water metering in the public and what municipalities should focus on. It's really important for us to have a tight dialogue with the customer, but also to bring in the right partners at all the time in the value chain. So we are building this ecosystem, but also our partners around our core products when it comes to IoT Cloud and our premium connectivity. It's a couple of important things that you should be aware of in these bullet points when it comes to how you address it when you're trying to solve one vertical need, for instance, water metering, but also how you can use our Telenor IoT Cloud to build other vertical solutions. So we have one IoT Cloud that can handle all your IoT solutions going forward. And of course, when it comes to our connectivity services, you might need Narrowband or LTM at the moment for one vertical solution, but going forward, you might need 5G or, for instance, only 4G to support the needs of your for your public municipalities today. So based on the different vertical needs you have in the public sector, we feel that we have the right partners, both connected to our IoT Cloud, but also our connectivity to deliver your final solutions in partnerships with, for instance, TietoEvry and InstrumentTeam going forward. And we're so happy to have the dialogue with so many municipalities today in the Nordics to give us feedback, but also to work with us in making this happen as well. So with that, I'm gonna introduce the next presenter. We are really happy to have Tieto as a system integrator to us. They are a reseller of our IoT Cloud, but most important, they are building the application layers on top of our IoT Cloud. And they can also take responsibility when it comes to the whole end-to-end solution and deliver it as a final solution to our customers, but also handling the field services and so on. Vinh from TietoEvry. He's the head of IoT in the Nordics and will then present his view. So Vinh, are you with us today?
Yes, I'm with you. Thank you a lot for the introduction, Jon Petter. And I'm very happy to be here. So welcome everyone to the call. Happy you guys all joined to hear about our story. So starting off with the evolution of things, I want to use cars as an example of the society, as a representation of the society in the past, the present, and in the future. Not very long ago, cars were in a sense a bit more reactive. When you think about it, was way more mechanical. So if you had a car and it kind of broke down, the only way to tell if something was wrong is by either looking at the physical cues or having a mechanic go down and actually understand what has happened. But fast forward to 2012, Elon Musk launched Tesla Model S, which was remarkable. When, of course, it was nice to look at and it's fully electrical and all. But the key point here is that it behaved way more like a computer. When you look at it, that it was always connected. You will always get continuous updates. And the third, it's always collecting data from the internal, from all the sensors. So if you now broke down, there will always be logs of what have happened, why has it happened, and how do they fix it. But if we move into the future, it becomes a bit more extreme, where you have companies like Google looking at how they're not only collecting data on the inside, but collecting data from kind of the outside of the car. So the car can become a bit more intelligent to be able to predict and be a bit more or be fully autonomous one day. So this is a representation of where we're heading, towards a place where the world will be a bit more, let's say, hyper connected in a sense. So if we look at the opportunities, it might be clear kind of what value we can get out of the data. But looking at the IoT landscape today, that might not be that clear, in a sense that you have many players moving in a different direction. You have a complex value chain and so on, which can make it a bit difficult. So just to tap into the on the right side of the picture here, we have some key points from a study done by Microsoft this year, where 90% of the participants said that from their IoT projects, they actually got stalled at the proof of concept stage, and that was due to cost of scaling. It was skill shortage. It was that they had non-scalable proof of concept designs, and 38% say that they're being prevented to invest more in IoT because of technical complexity and some of the key barriers. So some of the things that I would mention was like that they, of course, had a lot of legacy systems. They had proprietary tools that wouldn't talk to each other, data silos, and so on. And the last point was that when they were thinking about moving from, let's say, 10 devices to 10,000 devices, that tracking, managing, and securing all of this would be one of the top concerns. So we strongly believe that the future is a place where IoT is democratized. It's a place where IoT is is something for the mass. It's way easier to use and way easier to derive value from. So that's why TietoEvry and all of our partners in this call today is working hard to bring discipline to IoT by bringing the mix of the right talent to guide you through the fragmented landscape and to be able to give you access to the latest and best solutions and technologies in the IoT ecosystem all in one place. So you don't have to go many different places. I want to leverage our service integration talents to be able to give you more holistic and integrated service experience. And last, when you're moving from a proof of concept stage to kind of this full-scale IoT solutions, we will actually be able to handle the complexity of managing the whole IoT infrastructure. But of course, we understand that there's currently no one-size-fits-all. So that's why we're working really hard to modularize into different service components. So if we start from the bottom of what we call sensed environments, we'll give you the choices of how to sense the environment through external sensors, or even connect to your existing ones. If you, for example, have machines or building automation systems, we can connect to that. We can offer you to kind of act on the edge when it comes to if you want to, for example, pre-process data in a gateway, or we're talking more advanced edge cloud solutions, or ways to kind of connect to the devices, like either through cellular and IoT, for example, we have Telenor, or if you want to use the local network and Wi-Fi. And also want to give you the chance to unlock the insight through a platform like the Managed IoT Cloud from Telenor, and also being able to manage everything in one place and supplement that with all the talent on the right side of the picture. No matter if it's about having a data scientist or a data engineer to build out pipelines, or if it's about integrating into existing systems. So the possibilities are endless, where it could be smart city, and we're talking about traffic safety, or if you want to monitor the temperature on the water on beaches and so on, or if you want to have a better understanding of what's actually going on in the building, how is it used, or optimizing factory lines. But today I'm going to focus a bit more on one concrete example. This is an RFI example of offering that we in the partners here in the call are delivering together. So let's talk about smart water metering from HIAS EQS, which is a utility company owned by all the municipalities in Hedmarken, so Hamar, Stange, Løten, and Ringsaker. So their current state are, in a sense, a bit more reactive, where they approximately have 35,000 analog water meters, which they measure kind of once a year, and want to become a bit more proactive, where they want to have more real-time water meter readings for different efficiency gains and so on. So let's look at the left side of the picture. So by having more real-time data of the water consumption, they would be able to, for example, understand more about one, water consumption different places for predicting it, and two, they having the chance to on a day-to-day basis understand how water is moving from one place to another, and they're in a better position to understand if there's any water leakage and react way faster than they did before. And if we go a bit below, they also want to use the same data to build out a water consumption app for the inhabitants in the municipalities for a better experience, so they could understand how much they're using and being able to use that application to also give them advice on, for example, how to reduce water consumption, and also give them the chance to have different leakages alarms and so on, because all the different sensors are equipped with alarms. So for example, if they are on vacation, they can get a notification if there were leakage. And all this, of course, plays into the climate and environmental side of this, if they get the chance to reduce unnecessarily water consumption or loss. But what's interesting about this case is just smart water meter is just the beginning. It's just the beginning of their IoT journey, as they're looking at this as a first case to build out the kind of knowledge to expand to other use cases. And in this discussion, they were talking about shared technology infrastructure. What if they could use some of the components, like the connectivity, the MIC platform, to expand into other areas, instead of just having one solution for one vertical or one use case, and also build on the cooperations. So do you have the same partners that understand them, build into the next one, and also help build out the data ecosystem. So for example, one data point could be used for other use cases. So what we want to offer, or what we offered to HIAS, was new water data as a service, a fully packaged solution, where if you look at the left side of the picture, InstrumentTeam is taking care of the sensors, how do we set it up, what is the full functionality, and so on that part. And then Telenor will take care of the connectivity to the MIC platform, and on the MIC platform, the device will already be pre-connected, so he doesn't need to really think about that. And on the platform, data will be ingested at all times. It will be structured, indexed, and then saved to be ready to be presented on the right side of the picture here, either on the existing MIC app board that's already included, or into new and existing systems, where we could help with all kind of integrations, building new app and dashboards, or developing a machine learning model to predict how much water consumption that's going to be used. And lastly, I would say that when the customer scales, in this case, when it comes to the devices, for example, we'll handle the management of that, going from 10,000 to 35,000. We will be able to all-time manage that and manage the connectivity, the platform, and the user interfaces, so the customer can focus on the data. So in closing, just want to say that we envision that a lot of you guys in the call, and especially HIAS, what they wanted was a car, not necessarily all the bits and pieces of what makes a car, not the wheel and the engine separately, but something that would take them from a reactive state and into a more reactive and proactive state, all in one single bit. And with that, I just want to thank you all for listening in, and back to you, Jon Petter.
Thank you so much, Vinh. This was an awesome presentation, but also I think it gives explanation about our why we're building this ecosystem in Telenor, also why it's important to have all the elements in the ecosystem, and why it's important to collaborate. And IoT can seem really fragmented sometimes based on the customer to actually choose the right solution providers, but also how they can make sure that they don't choose just a proprietary end-to-end solution for instance, for water metering, but also can build different vertical solutions based on future IoT needs also, but when it comes to scale. So we are pretty aligned, and it was a great presentation. The things we have done is that we also have created a hardware ecosystem of IoT Cloud ready hardware. And the next presenter, InstrumentTeam, has actually built their whole end-to-end solution based on our connectivity, but also our IoT Cloud. And with that, they also are a perfect hardware partner for us, working together with companies as Tieto, for instance, when it comes to those vertical cases, but also how they can scale locally, but also in the Nordics pretty fast based on our connectivity and our IoT Cloud. So with that, Øivind, I would like to invite you to present about InstrumentTeam, and we are looking so forward to hear more about InstrumentTeam also.
Thank you for the introduction. Today, I like to speak about the remote reading of residential water meters, all the way from measurement to billing and alarm handling using Narrowband IoT and Telenor MIC. We started up, so first a little bit of InstrumentTeam. We started up in 2003 with the InstrumentTeam port of field instrument for control room and field PLCs, transmitters for pressure, temperature level, gas flow, and control valves for offshore maritime industry and the building market. Wireless transmitters for the industry we started with in 2006 with the ISA 100 protocol, where it's updates down to 1 second. At the same time, we started with the residential water meter, and the first remote water meter case we did in 2015. At the moment, we sell about 15,000 water meters a year. I split a little bit in three. It's the water meters, and then the connectivity, and then the collection. So what we sell is the Axioma VN water meter with ultrasonic principle, no moving parts. It's very accurate. If you divide the nominal flow to the minimum flow, you get 400. The same number of the best mechanical meter you can get is 160, but much often less than that, and this means very accurate and very low flows. Is also very rapid update internally, half a second. That means a very accurate output or base for do the calculation to make the output. And should be the market's best as far as I know. It's no measurement of air. You can mount it in any position. It's for residential use, it's 15 and 20 millimeters. And for this, it's all common and non-common lengths are available, including the 80 millimeter, very short, which I think it's the market's smallest static meter for the smallest meter on the market. But it's also bigger meters, up to 50 millimeter in the same series. It's compact housing, rugged construction with the composite. Ingress protection is 68, so we can actually put it underwater if you like. It's good display, so we also can use it just as display, and then are ready for remote reading later on. Battery lifetime is 16 years. Then we can talk about the networks that this water meter can do, and it actually start with it's actually three possibilities, which in a way is the past, the present, and the future. Wireless M-Bus is and LoRa can be in one hardware. The other version, which looks the same, is Narrowband IoT. So you can actually send only wireless members, only LoRa, and both at the same time. But today we focus on Narrowband IoT, but some comments about this. Wireless members is updating very often, between seconds, but it has short range. It's good for dry bay, but for many municipalities, it's too time consuming. It's too long time between readings for good leakage detection. Suggested interface to electricity meters seems to be too expensive with the card upgrades needed and some extra things that you actually need to add to some electricity meters to actually receive the signal is often not allowed, and also many electricity companies refuse to do this because it's too much data to handle. Fixed network possible, but it's very expensive compared to LoRa or narrowband. LoRa is good range two-way communication, but you need to invest in a network, and you also need to maintain this network. Narrowband IoT is very long, a large range compared to LoRa. It's part of the new 5G and the technology for the future. The SIM card is put into the water meter at the factory and can be, for instance, Telenor. It's connected to mobile phone antennas, so no need for extra fixed gateways or maintenance of this. It's 100% better penetration than 4G voice, so meaning you get double distance. It's immediate alarming, so all critical alarms get to you and don't wait for the next regular transmission. Battery lifetime for this IoT version is 13 years if you send every second day, and then 48-hour values, so you actually have one value for each hour anyway. We expect, or it's next year, second quarter, we get a bigger battery in this as well, so we expect 16 years battery lifetime for this one as well, but that's not confirmed yet. You can also easily use Narrowband IoT to extend existing wireless MBUS and LoRa water meter networks. Leakage handling is very important. We can also supply bigger meters with the Narrowband IoT converters, so you can put out more zone meters out there and actually add up all your water meters, residential water meters, to one zone meter and get an alarm quick if it's some differences. We use Telenor MIC for Narrowband IoT. It's a direct, very safe, closed VPN Narrowband IoT connection. Also possible to collect and store wireless MBUS and LoRa packages on the Telenor MIC, and it does it easy to migrate to Narrowband IoT and also from different water meter suppliers. Data can be pushed to any software via webhooks or APIs, to dashboards for immediate alarm management and leakage surveillance of zone, like the Ambivision, to billing systems like Comtech and Easy Proactive, to operation software, analysis software like Gemini, to any traditional upload, download like CSV, Excel files, and to any customized solution made by Telenor partners like TietoEvry. We can adapt then to any receiving format that fits the receiving software. Mixed display can also be adapted to possibly avoid the cost of extra water-meter dashboard if needed. It looks like this. Here is a different kind of test sites. We have picked one for Molde. This is the serial number of a V1 in Molde test. And then you see the date, the total volume at reading, the flow rate at reading. You can also see at the bottom here positive and negative volume, which if you calculate, you get to the volume total. It's temperature and battery level, but you can see much more. You can kind of adapt this display as you want it. You see also a volume trend at the middle. It's also possible to do put in coordinates, so you can see it on a map. Here's also example of how a dashboard software looks like in the map display, which vision can be used for this type of adding up all the residential meters to a bigger zone water meters. Here is an example from Trondheim. You see a lot of metal pipes. It's a metal closet with a metal door, but still the Narrowband signal gets there. So this we start to sum up a little bit. It's meters on the left hand here, water meters, heat meters, level meters for surface water or snow depth or any pressure, temperature, and so on. And that can be transmitted with Narrowband IoT into the Telenor Mix Cloud solution or any cloud solution, and to any kind of software like Comtech or any billing and dashboard system software. To sum up even more, Calcosonic V1 is very suitable for fixed radio network and as well as reading on the display. Fixed network with zoning are very suitable for leakage detection because of immediate alarming. Thousands of V1 is now connected in fixed networks, several Narrowband IoT sites. Narrowband IoT are the future for water meter in fixed network solutions. Thank you. Then I give it back to Jon Petter.
Thank you, Øivind. Yeah, that was my follow-up question also, but you stated pretty clearly here that Narrowband is the future for these kinds of solutions, right? Just to give you a quick overview here on why we are working with different kinds of partners in order to actually succeed in delivering those IoT projects. We see that the new communication barriers, like for instance, for 5G and Narrowband LTM, are opening up new use cases and actually can solve direct needs. So we are trying to do it as simple as possible for our customers, but also due to this new partner ecosystem that we are building, we are engaging faster, but can enable IoT faster in the market, but also make sure that you have a future-proof and scalable solution. We want to thank everyone for attending, and if you have any follow-up questions, if something is unclear or if you want to know more about how Telenor partner ecosystem or about why we in this meeting are working together, feel free to drop an email, and we are happy to have a meeting with you or to answer any questions going forward. And as we said, we're doing this to make sure that we enable IoT the right way, but also the right way for you as a customer, and so you can have a fast and scalable solution that's a future-proof solution. And with that, we want to thank everybody for attending today, and yeah, have a nice day, everybody.